Spain didn't just beat Messi in the World Cup final, they straight up made him disappear. No cap, that's exactly what happened. Y'all know how every big Messi game usually gives us at least one magic moment, right? Well, not this time. And the craziest part is, Argentina didn't even take a single shot in the first 90 minutes. Let that sink in. The defending World Cup champions, with Lionel Messi, couldn't even get one shot off. That's actually one of the rarest things ever recorded in World Cup history. So what on earth did Spain do to a team that looked almost unstoppable just a few weeks earlier? Because here's the tea. This wasn't about luck, bad refereeing, or one random mistake. Spain had a plan, they stuck to it, and they completely shut down the greatest player of all time. And once you see how they pulled this off, you'll understand why people are already calling this one of the most dominant World Cup final performances we've ever seen. So listen, the final score says 1-0, but don't let that fool you. This game was nowhere near that close. Straight up, if you only looked at the scoreboard, you'd think Argentina almost pulled it off. They didn't. Spain had these guys pinned back almost the entire night. It felt like Argentina was just trying to survive instead of actually playing in a World Cup final. Every time they finally got the ball, boom. There were 2 or 3 Spanish players closing them down before they could even think. It was like Spain knew every move before Argentina made it. And that's what made this whole thing so wild. They weren't just winning the ball back. They were deciding where the game was being played, how fast it was being played, and who was allowed to touch it. Argentina spent so much time chasing that they barely had a chance to breathe. No joke, by the end of regular time, Spain had taken 20 shots, with 12 of them forcing Emiliano Martinez into huge saves. Meanwhile, Argentina, not one single shot in 90 minutes. 0. That's honestly the kind of stat you'd expect from a tiny underdog playing Brazil back in the day. Not the defending World Cup champions with Lionel Messi wearing the captain's armband. And if you're wondering how crazy that really is, it gets even more unbelievable. Here's the part that really blew people's minds. According to Opta, they've tracked almost 900 World Cup games going all the way back to 1966. Out of all those matches, only 3 teams have gone through regular time without taking a single shot. 2 of them were Costa Rica when they were massive underdogs. The third, Messi's Argentina in a World Cup final. That's just insane. And here's what makes it even crazier. It wasn't because Argentina forgot how to attack. Spain simply took away every single option. The midfield was always one step ahead, the passing lanes disappeared, and every time Messi looked up, there was another red shirt waiting for him. It was like Spain had spent months figuring out exactly how to stop one man, and then executed that plan almost perfectly. And you've got to give some love to Emiliano Martinez, because without him, this final would have been over way earlier. The dude was making save after save, denying Nico Williams, Pedri, and Ferran Torres like he was carrying Argentina on his back. But here's the problem. When your goalkeeper ends up touching the ball more than anyone else on your team, that's usually a sign you're in serious trouble. Spain just kept coming in waves. Eventually, that pressure was too much. In extra time, Nico Williams nodded the ball into Ferran Torres' path, and Torres finally buried the chance. At that point, it honestly felt less like a surprise and more like the goal everyone knew was coming. But let's be real, this game wasn't just about Spain winning another World Cup. It felt like the moment football officially entered a new era. For years, every big tournament somehow came back to Messi. This time, Spain's young stars were the ones stealing every headline. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Nico Williams, Ferran Torres. This squad didn't look nervous for 1 second. They looked like they believed this stage already belonged to them. And if this final taught us anything, it's that the rest of the world isn't just chasing Argentina anymore. They're chasing Spain. That's a scary thought for every team thinking about the next World Cup. And then there was Messi. At 39 years old, he had already dragged Argentina all the way back to another World Cup final. which is honestly incredible by itself. But this wasn't the fairy tale ending a lot of fans were hoping for. Instead of one last iconic moment, he spent most of the night searching for space that just wasn't there. If this really turns out to be his final World Cup game, people won't remember it for a crazy goal or an unforgettable assist. They'll remember it as the night Spain did something almost nobody thought was possible. They made the greatest player of his generation look human. So yeah, years from now, people probably won't talk about this final because it ended 1-0. They'll talk about how Spain completely flipped the script on world football. One team came in as the defending champions. The other walked away looking like the future of the sport. And if this is really the end of Messi's World Cup story, it's also the beginning of a brand new chapter led by Spain's next generation. Either way, one thing's for sure, soccer never stays quiet for long. And trust me, with everything already happening around the game, you do not want to miss what's coming next. So stick around, because we've got a lot more to talk about.